Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to NPU Live. I'm Keri Rodriguez.
And I'm Tim Langan.
And we're excited to be with you this morning. Today is Wednesday. It is, what's the date of it? It's September 9th.
September 9th, 9/9.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's hard to keep track of the days. It really is.
I didn't bother.
It is 9 days until our children start school, which is kind of exciting. I'm excited for that.
Someone should tell the teachers in school.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ooh, yeah, it's a rough go. We still don't know what the schedules are going to look like. We still don't know what the day is going to look like, what cohort our kids are in. One of my kids doesn't have a teacher assignment yet. One of my kids doesn't have a Chromebook yet.
None of them have schedules. None of them actually know what's going to take place in the classroom.
Yeah, and a lot of parents across the country scrambling. In Houston, Texas, what a disaster. HISD down there just deciding at the last minute to open virtual learning centers, which kind of sound like schools. We've had servers crash. This is actually an epidemic happening across the country where, you know, folks that were pressured into going all remote to start did not have the technology required to facilitate going all remote. So, you know, all that time we spent trying to figure out which disinfectant to buy, we didn't upgrade the servers. So
listen. I'm not going to have this. It's first thing in the morning. They only had 5 months, babe. They only had 5 months.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's sarcastic Wednesday.
Yeah.
Whatever day it is. Yeah,
it's really it's rough. Yeah, I'm very interested in this because, you know, as I've been thinking more deeply, you know, I really wanted to take some time. I've been reading a lot of the plans. You know me, I've been on the website, reading all kinds of plans, spending a lot of time reading a lot of lawsuits, legal action happening. I'm just fascinated by all that.
You love that suing stuff.
Yeah, because, you know, I'm very interested. Like, again, I have not yet seen what my kids are actually getting, but I know what they should be getting. I've been doing a lot of research about what they should be getting. And the idea that if you select the remote option for your children, that you would not have access to live teaching and local live teachers. A lot of people, not just here in Massachusetts, but also in Oklahoma and Tennessee and California, having a lot of beef with that. Looks like there's going to be some legal action.
Yep.
I know our friends from the National Parents Union on the case. We dispatched 3 of our staff to go help some friends in Oklahoma navigate that little situation because folks were not pleased with that. Also, continuing to explore this idea that time spent on learning and structured learning time continues to be a thing. And we're already seeing some legal battles in the courts right now around defined professional development, how none of this stuff has changed. In fact, you know, here again in Massachusetts, some teachers in Andover deciding that they just weren't going to engage in professional development because they didn't want to go inside a building. You know, and I get it, you know, I certainly don't want to be in any public building with like thousands of other people, especially kids that don't socially distance. But if you're talking about being in a school with like 60 grown adults in a building that's meant to hold,
you can keep your space,
a couple thousand, and everybody's socially distant, you don't actually get COVID from being in a building. You get it from being too close to other people who are not socially distant and might be positive. So all of those things. But what they decided to do was sit outside the building and not engage in professional development or just do whatever they felt like doing.
Were there bats in the building?
No bats.
There were no bats in the building? Okay.
No bats in the building that we know of anyway. But that was actually declared by the National Labor Relations Board to be a strike action.
Ooh.
And you can't do that here. You can't do that. It's not allowed. So it's going to be a season of legal action on the part not only of school districts and superintendents, but also parents and families. Really excited to explore those options because, as we know, often you know, people talk a good game. There's a lot of advocacy that happens. You expect people to kind of, I don't know, you want to appeal to people's better angels, you know, you expect them to do the right thing. But as we know, here in Boston,
That's how it works.
we have a historic tradition of not being able to do the right thing unless we're under federal court order. So if we need to make that happen, ding, happy to do it. So we're looking at those options. We're actually going to be exploring what our legal rights are. Here in Massachusetts, we're really lucky because we have a constitutional right in our Constitution. Access to high quality education is a right. So please don't violate my constitutional rights or those of my children. Thank you. Or yeah, legal action will be taken. So really excited to explore these avenues. Really super excited to see what the hell my kids are going to be doing
Yeah, I don't
during
get
the day.
this. If the kids are there for 6 hours, and 2 to 3 hours will be synchronistic learning. Again, that is with a teacher. Live teaching. What are they doing the next 3 hours?
So here's what I've heard.
Okay.
So had a conversation with our friend Dan Bank, who has a rising kindergartner, just starting kindergarten. And what it looked like for him and for his daughter was his wife got her on Zoom. Okay. They said, "Hi, good morning. How are you? Welcome to kindergarten. I'm glad that you're here." They took attendance because they must take attendance because they want to, they need that for funding purposes to make sure you're actually there. Yeah. And then they sent them off with like 3 assignments that apparently the parent was supposed to facilitate. Oh. And there's your synchronous learning for the day. Come back in 45 minutes and let us know how you did.
That's fascinating. That's
So how you're supposed to work or do anything other than that, I don't really know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Which leads me to one other point I do want to bring up this morning. I have seen this incredible rise in the conversation around around how teachers are not babysitters and how, you know, they're not here for that. They're here to be these beacons of knowledge. Here's the thing. The society, the capitalist society we have established here in the United States and the education system is actually based upon you taking custody of younger children during the day so that we can actually facilitate, you know, the economy.
That's right.
So being able to supervise children, young children who need supervision, it's kind of baked into the plan.
It goes with it
from the very beginning.
Right.
Yeah. So that's not a thing. And if you want to create like some like that, again, I know like a lot of teachers unions are just kind of throwing this stuff out on the fly. A lot of parents bristling saying, okay, well, if you're supposed to be these bastions of knowledge and these, you know, pillars of excellence and all of this stuff, we're not really satisfied with your knowledge base and your curriculum. So we should actually have a choice to choose something else. And if you're not going to actually take responsibility for the kids during the day and we have to do something else, we're going to take those choices. And a lot of parents are. If
you want to if teachers want to get rid of this Florence Nightingale view of themselves that some parents have, screw with parents' daily lives and their jobs.
And on a daily basis. Do it 48 hours before you've decided
what the schedule is. And do it with an attitude. And throw in, I'm not a babysitter. And let me know how that goes.
Because I don't know, most of the parents I know, I was even talking to parents in Newton and Wellesley, which are some like hoity-toity kind of areas of Boston. And they are pretty shocked. They are pretty shocked and not going to take this lying down. And they're going to yank their kid from the school system, which is going to mean really impacts on the budget. You're going to see layoffs. It's a tricky thing. So anyway, yeah, I would suggest we revisit that. But you know what? That's just my perspective. Do you?
I don't know the schedule yet, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So maybe my district will be different.
And that's what's so hysterical too, is that like we are being told that it's our choice. Only we know what's best for our children and our family and what's going to work for us. And we should make this choice and this decision. Well, you haven't really told me what we're doing yet. So how do I decide what choice to pick if you don't tell me what the choices are?
Well, it's funny because like we said in Somerville, some parents didn't even know that they even had a remote option. There was hybrid and remote. And I asked some parents, well, which are you choosing? And they said, is there a remote option? And just the email we got the other day from the principal at the Ingeniano, and it was all this stuff about the cohorts and the remote. And then somewhere tucked in there, it's like, if you want to know about the remote learning, give me a call. It's like, what?
So really no options.
No options.
I feel like, and plus this whole like BS around the only way you get access to Somerville Public School teachers, who we pay for.
Right, we pay for them.
Is if you are kind of coerced into this hybrid model, because otherwise you go into the Florida Learning virtual school.
Yep.
And then you don't get to talk to anybody locally. You must talk to Florida, which of course, you know, people are going to be dissuaded from that and say, what are you talking about? I want my kid to have a local teacher who's going to be helping and guiding and checking in. So they get steered into this. It's so there's really no choice at all. There's no choice at all, which is horrible. But, you know, things are evolving, things are changing. It's a hot mess all over the country. You know, schools are opening and then closing, opening and closing. Yep. They're starting down a remote model and then switching to hybrid, then switching back. Like it's a mess. It's a mess. So we as parents are doing the best that we can and trying to figure it out. One of the ways that we are trying to do the best we can and maintain some sense of normalcy, some self-care, is this mess of a walking challenge we have going on right now. Now, I don't know. We're gonna kind of let people know where we are with our walking challenge. Yeah. We've all the members of the National Parents Union, because we're not just, you know, we're not just about business. We're a family here.
That's right.
We're a highly competitive family, apparently. And it was mentioned during one of our council meetings, like we've started doing like these meetups, which it's just a virtual meetup where we're kind of having coffee together. We do a community circle. We do Zumba together via Zoom, which is really great just to kind of get yourself out of your own head a little bit. But we just started this walking challenge.
Yeah, and because viewers, you probably realize you've watched the decline of Tim over the last 5 months. I've gone from being, you know, in okay shape to I don't have to wear belts anymore. Everything's pretty snug. I've gone up a notch. Though I did have to wear a belt the other day because I actually put jeans on because it was kind of cold. I'm down a notch on the belt, or I'm up a notch. I don't know. Either way, it's less notches because I got a bigger belly. But the point is, we have to pull it together.
I'm glad that Tim has been able to process his body dysmorphia with us.
I'm glad I could do that with you. Well, you know, we talk real talk here.
You're looking great.
I know, but you know,
it's okay if you need to eat a little ice cream and a cheeseburger.
I will. I will. We had a great walk yesterday.
Through,
yeah.
You know, that's what you got to do. But you know, we
back to everyone else though.
Take care of ourselves as well. So we at the National Parents Union, and for all of you out there, if you want to join us, if you want a very entertaining community of parents across the country,
you want to download the Outwalk app. Look for people like myself. I'm Tim Langan. You have Keri Rodriguez.
We'll be friends with you.
I'll be friends with you. You have some incredible walkers out there.
Yeah, but just do me a favor. Don't join if you actually like to walk a lot, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah, because you get some people here who are incredible walkers. Judith Yanez. I don't know if what's going on in Arkansas right now that you have to walk across the state. But she is currently up to almost 8,600 steps today. Natasha, who should be running the show for Christ's sakes, is up to 6,900 steps almost.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a meeting with Natasha.
She's probably walking and producing.
I don't know what's going on here. Like,
Walking and
I don't know
producing.
how you can walk that many miles a day
Yeah,
and still produce these shows.
I don't know.
It's
I don't know.
crazy.
I don't
Maybe
know.
she'll put it up in the comments here.
Maybe she will.
Um,
And also, too, don't forget to be friends with our newest walker. That would be Patricia Mullen Langan, my mom.
which is Mama Langan.
Mama Langan, who now she might not have her phone on her now. She's low on the steps, but I gotta tell you, she might be 75. She walks.
She would kick your ass. Okay.
Kicked your ass the other day.
Please understand. So I went out with Patty to take a walk the other day. She's a beast. You can't stop her. Okay. She is a beast. We walked 4 miles. Like, and again, I'm just dusting off here. Like, I'm gonna own it. Like, I have been not walking a lot.
Nope.
The last couple months, maybe. I mean, we go on a walk every once in a while. We were good at walking for like a little while, and
Yeah.
then we kind of shut it down a little bit. But she just tore it up. She was ready to. She walked the whole city. I think Somerville's only 2 miles. We walked 4 miles.
Yeah.
We walked into Medford. We walked all around. I mean, it was, we had the mask on, socially distant, but man, she's a beast.
She is.
So friend Patty Langan, make sure, but only if you're ready to come with it.
That's right.
And that's really where I want to go with this conversation. Yeah, it's health, it's step counting, it's doing it with your friends, it's doing it in community, it's all good, right? But it's taking a turn here. It's taking a little turn. It's getting pretty competitive. Okay. And for our National Parents Union community, I want to let you know, okay, what it's like in this house now. That we have joined the challenge. Okay, my child has joined the challenge,
Yep.
David.
Yep.
Okay, that was a disaster. Not because I don't want my children to walk, but because like he was using his iPod to track his steps. And then we were walking around a field at Bunker Hill Community College in Boston. And he decided, because he's 7, to go and do cartwheels in the field.
Yeah.
And chase bunnies, and he lost his iPod.
Yeah.
So we did get several thousand additional steps the next day.
Looking for
walking back and forth, looking for the iPod in a field that had just been mowed.
Yeah.
We did find it.
We did find it.
Thank you, St. Anthony.
That's quite the lawn, by the way.
St. Anthony publicly here. We
It's quite
did
the
find
lawn,
it.
Bunker Hill
So that was
Community
it. But I don't know if you can't really see it on him. He's a fierce competitor. Okay, he is driven to win.
That's right.
And he's not gonna go out like no punk.
Anyone
Just
who's
putting it
worked
out
with me
there.
in a sales environment knows the sales Tim, and that if there's a list with names on it and numbers, I'd like to be on the top of it. Just gonna want to
And
say that.
he kind of is. And I have to say, we don't usually get mushy on this program,
Go
but
ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
this is my life partner, the love of my life. I adore this man. Never seen this side of him. Holy crap. Okay. The man is at 10 o'clock at night, like ready to go walk the neighborhood because he sees Judith Yanez.
Well, let me just tell you
who's
something.
in a different time zone where it's like, it's normal to walk. He's here at 10 o'clock at night. He's like, I gotta go walk. I gotta get a couple more. Judith's coming for me.
She's not in Hawaii. She's in Arkansas. She's only an hour behind. So let's just say I'm up to like 10,000 steps. And then I might have purposely walked back and forth to my house to hit 10,000, which is 500 steps. And as I'm walking back, I'm like, I see Judith is walking. And Keri's like, she's not going to get 6,000 steps tonight. I said, I don't know.
She is.
I go take a shower. I come out. She's up to like 8,000. And last night, and then all of a sudden, Vivette Dukes, because I guess it wasn't a school night, Vivette, had to get up and start walking around New York at 11 o'clock at night.
So this man, oh man, he was
walk around the kitchen. So I ended up with 10,497 steps yesterday. Judith, 11,547 steps. And then Vivette, who wasn't even like, I think she went to bed at 8.
Yeah.
Woke up at 10.
She was chill.
Ended up walking 12,815 steps last night.
So we're really curious.
Ooh.
Actually, I'm not that curious, but Tim is super curious. Where are you folks walking to? Where are you going? How are you getting these steps in?
You know who almost caught up to me last night by 200?
Who?
Natasha. She was dying yesterday.
Natasha, what are you doing? Where are you walking to?
You know what I want to know from Natasha? Why did she stop? Because if I was 200 steps behind someone, I just would have walked around in a circle for like 5 minutes just to prove a point.
And he's not kidding.
I'm not joking, Natasha. Next time, do that.
So again, yeah, Judith is walking around her block.
How big is his block? Well,
Listen,
it's Arkansas.
It's Arkansas.
So,
And I will say there was some trash talk going on. We may have been joking about, Judith. We thought maybe she was walking to the Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly
We don't
Wiggly.
know where you walk to in
Yeah.
Arkansas. Someone was like, she's walking the beach. We're like, in Arkansas?
what
where
beach
are
is
you
in
walking?
Arkansas? Where are you walking?
Oh, man. So anyway, it's getting serious here.
But exercise is a good way to take care of yourself physically, but also emotionally. I know back in the days when I used to sit in a diseased gym, I felt great whenever I left, whether I was sore or not. And it really helps with the mood. Was it gets the endorphins going or something?
I
It really
don't know
helps.
if it's helping your mood, honey.
It is helping. Physically, I feel good, but then Judith ruins it. So really, if it wasn't for Judith,
Well,
everything will be okay.
we just got to get up off our asses, frankly, and walk. Because it's go time. It is go time.
It's go time.
So I don't even know if these ladies even knew it was getting this competitive.
I didn't want to tell
or
them
if they
because
were
now they're
just
going to be
walking.
watching.
If they were just doing what they do and living their lives. But it's go time, ladies. Me, I'm probably gonna keep it between 8,000 and 10,000. If I get a 10,000 step day, it's gonna be great. I'm fine with being in the middle of the pack. I don't need to win everything. I already won. Look at this handsome
Oh, that was a
fella.
good one. Good save. Good
But
save.
holy crap, you guys are pretty intense.
Judith, what?
And, yeah. So Judith is
8,500 steps.
She's walking the block.
Well, she's walking around the block.
Well, you better get on it. We have a
Well,
block
Saturday
too.
neighbors.
Just saying.
Well, with
Anyway,
that, you know who's walking and talking?
who else is walking the block, helping parents, doing an extraordinary job? I'm sure he is horrified by the ongoings of the National Parents Union now, but Jose Morillo is with us from the Dominico-American Society in New York, out of Queens. We are so excited that he is with us this morning and joining us. Jose, how are you? It's so nice to see you, honey.
Hi, how are you? I'm proud to be here with you.
Jose, how are your steps? Are you walking? Are you taking care of yourself? What's going on with you in New York?
Yes, we have to. We was locked for too many months. Now I start walking with my wife, and now I'm working in the U.S. Open. It's no public, and I have the opportunity to walk a lot. It's a big place, and that's helped me now in those days.
Well, Jose, we're so impressed by all of the work that you've been doing. We're going to talk about it. But before we do that, I want to check in on you and your wife. We love you guys so much. We love you and your work, but this has been hard. This has been 5 or 6 months now, really intense. We're all on top of each other. We're trying to help as many families as possible. So tell us about your families and your work and how you guys are doing and how your heart is.
It's difficult, but if you stick together, we can do it. Especially that I work with too many parents of people coming from Latin America and they don't speak the language. They confuse, and we're trying to help them. And also we have kids, and also we have to send them to school when we confuse about if they're going or not. A lot of people need food. A lot of people need money. In New York, it's tough, and we have to deal with that. And every day is something new, and it's hard.
So, Jose, tell us, have you learned anything, any tips, any tricks to kind of get your family through this in this moment? Because one of the most important things that we're doing in the National Parents Union is trying to make sure the fabric of our families is strong. And even those of us that are quote unquote experts in this are struggling in this moment because we've never been through anything like this. So what's your favorite tip, trick to kind of cool things down for your family, to make sure you don't get too grumpy, too aggravated? What are you guys doing to survive?
First of all, we have to take care of. Like here in New York, we have too many rules now to follow. And also, if you stay home, we're trying to stay home. A lot of people doesn't have the opportunity, but you stay home. I have the opportunity also to stay home with my wife and kids, and that's helped me. But not everybody have the opportunity. And being home and help the kid with the homework. Some of them start, some of them not. It's a little confused, but stick together as a family. We can go through all this happening. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know. I don't know if next year will be the same. We will feel the same way, but it's a lot. It's it's great.
So let's talk about the work that you guys have been doing in your community. And you guys just, like so many of us, just turned around and said, we got to figure out a plan to help people. Like, we can't wait. We have to rapid respond. Our people need us. Families need us. We got to figure this out. Because that's what we do on a normal basis. But now this is kind of what we do on a normal basis on steroids. So you guys immediately jumped into action, making sure people had food, making sure people had masks, maybe making sure people had water, making sure that the information that was being given out by the city was actually getting to the families, which is a huge problem across the country. People not using ethnic media, not using the right community ambassadors. So information was getting lost. And that's where fear starts happening, where you start to see disproportionate impact because people don't know how to keep themselves safe. So talk to us about those early days and how you guys just, sprung into action.
Yeah. First of all, when we noticed the city was shut down and everything, the first thing we do is get together, have a meeting with the board and everybody in the in Dominico-American Society of Queens. And after that, we take action, like you said. We make sure we get food for give it to the people. And the only thing it was hard, it was people doesn't have the right information. The community that I work, they don't have the right information. We have to make sure they have the right information. Uh, they don't know where to go because the COVID-19 test. They don't know where even they don't want to go because they're illegal because they don't speak the language. It's hard, and trying to help all these people at the same time, it was hard. But we have a Pratt Institute who came and help us, and they give me the opportunity to have a Zoom platform to get together and teach all the parents and kids how to connect in Zoom. And with Zoom, we have meetings every week to tell them we have food for you, we have water for you, we have masks for you, and everything they need, we was there. And it's hard because if the city shut down, sometimes you can do a lot of stuff. Beside that, it was the protest. I don't know if you remember uh, all that happened in New York City and around the country. And we work hard all together.
Jose, let's talk about a piece that we don't always talk about in every space. I'm sure it happens in the Dominican community. It happens across the Latino community. It happens in the Brazilian community, the Portuguese community, all of our communities. We can be a little stubborn, and even when we get information from a trusted source, sometimes it's hard for us to accept when things seem so unusual. It's so hard for us to trust information that's coming from the government. And you really have to have the right ambassador. People are skeptical in our communities about, what do you mean I gotta wear a mask? What do you mean I can't go on the TV? What do you mean I can't go to work or my kids are closed or the school is closed? What do you mean I gotta stay 6 feet away from somebody? What do you mean I can't go into the store? All of this stuff, like, that was very real. And when you're not having, the communications channels are not great, and you have some of these cultural barriers where people are stubborn saying, I don't believe that, they're full of crap, you don't trust them. Like, that's tough. I don't think that's something that we all talk about and admit. Like, that's some of the tough work that we have had to do here in Massachusetts. I'm sure that you are doing it in New York as well, just breaking down like, no, fam, like we really, like, this is serious. Like, you can't be doing this. Like, this is gonna be a problem. Like, how did you guys handle that?
You're totally right. What you say makes sense, because that happened to us. Those people, they don't trust anybody, and because we close together with them, with the community, they trust us and they believe in us, and we have to make sure whatever information they need, we transmit to them. We tell them and they follow. But you said, like, they don't believe, they don't want to do all of the stuff, they don't want to follow instructions, they don't want to follow rules. It's hard, and that's happening here in New York, and it's still happening now.
Yeah, because we're stubborn, right? Like, I'm not trying to do
Yeah.
that. I'm not saying I gotta do this. I gotta live my life. This is not, this doesn't sound right to me. What you tell me is sounding crazy. So we as ambassadors, it's been a really critical moment for us to step up and just being able to say, like, this is not going to work for us, or maybe you're not the right person to tell my community. They're not going to believe you. They're going to push back. They're going to be very skeptical about what you're telling us. You got to send the right people with the right message who understands the pushback that we're getting from folks, because a lot of this stuff doesn't sound right. It sounds crazy. We've never been through it before. And frankly, if you're coming from Latin or Central America, like, there's not a lot of trust in government anyway. Like, and now to have to trust in the government to keep you safe, you know what I mean, right? Like,
Yes.
A lot of people are like, okay, what is this craziness? So, like, that is a real thing for us.
Yes, especially for this government, a lot of Latin people in my community, they don't trust them, they don't believe them, they don't want them. But it's hard. But like I said before, if you work in the community for a long time and you know the community, you know how to get that message to them. And we have to sit down, get meetings soon, virtual thing. They never expect, they never know about uh, Wi-Fi, internet, soon technology, and that's another barrier that we have to cross. We have to cut down, because it's hard, but we here, and thank you guys also for help the community and everything that you do.
Well, Jose, this is the other piece that we should get into too, is addressing the digital divide and those issues, because you guys have been helping so much when we get into the Wi-Fi and the technology piece of it. Because, like, we see it across the country, we see it here in Boston too, where just because you drop off a hotspot or a Chromebook does not mean that people are even going to open up the bag and know what to do with it. Like, what is this stuff? I don't know how to hook it up. Like, we'll just look on our phone. Like, we had members up here who were just like, I'm going to use my iPhone. Like, or I'm going to just connect the way I usually do. And kids are trying to learn, like, based off of, what they can get on mommy's phone, because they have the Chromebook, but knowing how to hook it up, or understanding, like, how to get access or how to hook up for the service or whatever, it's a lot. And families are already scrambling and struggling right now. So how did you guys approach that, and how were you able to help families in that way?
Yes, we have like 50, more than 50 family, right? And we have to call all family and ask questions like, you have a Wi-Fi, you have a digital device, you have an iPhone, you have Wi-Fi connections. Some of them, they don't even know what the Wi-Fi connection is. And then when we have all the question answered by family, we decide to help individuals. Also, we have people train them, spend hours to train them individually, to make sure they have the right connection, they have the device, and they have, because everybody have a cell phone here, but they don't know they can use that as for Zoom or for meetings or for whatever, and that's why we have to train families.
And
And
that has been a
that's,
huge part of what you're doing is actually teaching families how to use Zoom, how to use some of these apps, how to actually connect in these ways.
yes, and thanks God to the voluntary people, they did that, because you know a lot of people doesn't lose their job, they have time to do it. That's another thing. We have a lot of volunteers that they did that for the community, for our organization, to have those parents to because remember when in New York it was March 16, I believe, when the old school closed. There's still classes. We've been through this for a long time. That's why now for the new year, they know where to go. They know, but some of them are working. They can be at home helping these kids in the virtual class. You know, it's something like we want to go back to school, but at the same time, I don't want to send my kid to school, but also I can be home to help my kid. It's hard, but we, yeah.
You still have you? Okay, Jose, you froze up on us for 1 second. It might be my internet too. Um,
Oh,
so we only have a few minutes left, but I want to figure out where we are right now. You know, we're 6 months in. You know, schools in New York, you know, you've got teachers, some of them in classrooms. You've got hope that there's going to be reopening, but then, you know, the fear of a second wave. How is your community feeling now? What's happening in Queens? What's happening in the Dominican community? Like, what's the thought? Are people really thinking that schools are going to reopen? They're going to end up back?
yes. Like I said before, everybody's confused, even me. Uh, the city says something, but the state said another. The city said they want to begin the class on the 10th, but now is the 21st. But also at the same time, they say the virtual will be start the 16th, but in person will be the 21st. And it's a lot of confusion around. But parents, they don't want to send kid to school yet. We're not ready for that. And my question is how we can go back to school if the parents, even the teachers, they don't want to go and do that, because we in New York, we control the pandemic. We you know we good, but no, we're not clear yet. And that's why we, even me, I don't know what we want to do, what why they want to do, because it's impossible to go back to school right now. You know, us, if you tell me sit down, put your mask, I do it. But a kid, a 5 years old kid, you think we can follow instructions? I don't think so.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
like the plans have been created by people who have never met children before. It's like I think of our babies. We have five little boys between 7 and 12, and they can't keep their hands off each other. Like I can't even imagine. Like I cannot imagine them. You know, aside from just being like thinking about what it looks like from their perspective to have everybody wrapped in plastic, but what has the city done? I mean, have they reached out to you? Have they asked you for your opinion? Have they asked to talk to your parents? Like, what have they done to get information and see what you think about all this, or what your community thinks about it?
No, first of all, they didn't do that. They came with a plan without asking parents. Now they trying to ask parents, they're trying to, because they see the reaction of the community. They don't want to do it. But they came with a plan, like they knew everything. Everything was set up. Listen, we're going back to the school, the 10. This is what we're doing, but nothing of that is working. It's impossible to be like that. And then they had to change the date to start the school, because they see the community reaction. They have a plan, but that plan doesn't work. Uh, they never asked parents before. They never sit with us. They never have the teacher being asked to. I mean, I don't know how they plan that. And now some of the school is not ready to go back and a person life like person going back to school, because they have to have inspections. Uh, oh,
Air filtration.
oh, yeah. They have to have inspections, yeah. And then a lot of school doesn't have the regulation to go back. Like they have air problem in the rooms. They want to go out and do classes outside in the patio. It's raining. How you do that? I don't know.
Yeah, it just seems like a mess, and not doing this with families and communities seems like a huge missed opportunity. Because we've been with our kids for 6 months. We've seen how they learn, and we have a lot of information that we should be working together to try to do what's best for kids. Right now, I'm not even sure what the outcomes are going to be for the end of the year, and what the expectations are going to be for our kids. And unfortunately for kids like yours, kids like mine, like there's real consequences if there's not learning this year. So how are you trying to manage anxiety for families that are worried about whether or not, forget just being in the classroom, whether or not kids are going to learn anything this year?
That's true. And especially the end of the last year didn't work. Didn't work because the kids never learned. They didn't learn. And imagine now starting new year the same way. How those kids will be pass the class when, like you said before, like you going live, oh, you have 45 minutes to do this task and come back and do it. And who helped those kids? The parents? They don't even speak English. How would they learn? How would they do the homework? I don't understand. It's not working. It's something that we have to figure it out. I don't know. It's not working.
Well, Jose, it sounds like we're going to have a lot of work to do in the next few years. And
yeah.
I'm so glad that we can do this work together, and that you're part of our National Parents Union family. We want to do anything that we can to support your work and your efforts there. So if there's anything you need, call on us. You're getting cheered on in our comment section by lots of folks in New York who love to see Queens being represented. So especially some other members of the National Parents Council and the National Parents Union from New York. So much love for you here. And if there's anything that we can do, we just want you to know we hear you, we see you, we want you to be a part of this conversation. If you need us, call on us, and we're here to help.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for your help. Thanks for your support, and count with me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We can't wait to see you again too.
Okay. Yeah.
We can all be together in community. It'll be a beautiful day. Jose Morillo, who is joining us from the Dominico-American Society in Queens, New York. And just does extraordinary work. I mean, from the beginning, like some of the very first rapid response work that we saw was from DASQ, who was just out there in the streets, like making sure people had food and water and masks and understood what was going on. Because these guys are the heartbeat of Queens, the heartbeat of the community. And as you heard, they're not even being spoken to. Not even engaged about like what this looks like from their perspective and their families and their kids. And again, just stepping up to the plate, trying to do their part, and be those ambassadors, even though they're not treated very respectfully. And that's the whole thing. Like there are people who are out there doing this work 24 hours a day because they know it's life or death. And then by the folks in charge are just treated very, very disrespectfully.
That's right.
So we love Jose. We miss him. He was just such a joy. One of our founding delegates of the National Parents Union.
One of the many people we're missing seeing in person.
Can't wait and hopefully we'll all be together, maybe in Puerto Rico.
Maybe we can do maybe we'll do a virtual one, and we'll do a Puerto Rico backdrop.
Yeah, maybe 2022.
2022, yes, 2022. Anyway, sorry again, Natasha.
Thanks so much for being with us this morning. Get your steps in.
Get your steps in. If you'd like to be part of the National Parents Union, visit. That's nationalparentsunion.org. You can join as an individual or as a organization. We'd love to have you.
And if you'd like to join our walking challenge, we'd love to have you.
Yep.
You can download the Outwalk app. You can search for my name, Keri Rodriguez. You can search for Tim Langen. Then you will find all of us. We'll add you as a friend, and then other people will friend you. And just don't walk too much, okay? You're going to stress stress out the big guy.
So don't walk more than me. Not that you
He's
could,
gonna walk
but
all night
long,
Oh.
Judith.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you on Friday.
Bye,
Bye
everyone.
now.